Hello everyone, welcome back to the tutorials again. So you can see over here in previous session we have studied about the consolidation, that is definition of consolidation. So consolidation is nothing but process in which gradual reduction in volume of soil mass occurs under sustained loading, and it is primarily due to expulsion of pore water. So this is the definition of consolidation which we have studied in the previous sessions. So after that, why this consolidation happens, what is the main reason behind this, and what are the types of consolidation we have studied. So while studying the types of consolidation, we have studied about the total settlement of the soil also. So initial settlement, primary consolidation, and secondary consolidation, so all together gives us the total settlement, which we have already studied in the previous session. So about the Terzaghi's spring analogy we have studied in the previous session. So in which what they say is the springs are the springs are shown as a soil mass, and the water which is filled in the container is shown as a pore water, and 10 is the capacity of springs. So if we apply more than 10 units of load, the spring is going to transfer to the load. It is not going to bear, it is going to transfer. So we have applied the 2 units more than 10 already we have applied, over that 2 we have applied, so it has reduced in the size, or spring got compressed. So similarly, when we take water in a container, and when we open this valve, and when we only apply the 10 units of load, this 10 units of load will be bared by the spring. No load or no stresses will be transferred to the water as we are applying the 10 units of a load, because 10 units is the capacity of the spring. Now you can see over here, when we apply additional 2 units of the load, and when the valve is closed, this additional 2 units of the load will be transferred to the water, that we can call as a pore water. So you can see the stresses in the spring and stresses in the water. So what we can say is sigma is total stress, sigma dash is effective stress, and u dash is pore water pressure. So water is compared to uh, pore in water in the pores. So whatever the stresses in the water is there, that is pore water pressure. So when we slightly open this valve, what is going to happen, this water will try to escape, and as the water is trying to escape, slowly it is going to transfer its load to the springs. So you can see spring delta sigma dash is a uh, load which is getting transferred to the springs, which is added in the load taken by the spring, and which is subtracted in the load taken by the water. And finally, when the valve is completely open, what is going to happen is when the valve is completely open, what is going to happen, entire load will be transferred to the springs, and water will not be having any amount of load. So this is what I have explained in the previous sessions. So you can see from this above, from this we can understand that when the soil mass subjected to additional compressive load, when the soil mass is subjected to additional compressive load, what is meaning of additional compressive load? Additional compressive load means the load which can be bared by the soil. If we apply the load more than the uh, load which is bared by the soil, it is called as additional compressive load. So pressure increment is first taken place by water. So whatever the additional load which we are going to apply, that is directly going to increase the pressure in the water. The pressure that builds up in the pore water due to load increment is called as excess pore water pressure. So whatever the additional pressure which is built in the pore water due to additional compressive load which we have applied, that is called as excessive pore water pressure. So when the drainage of water is permitted, remember, when the drainage of the water is permitted, excess pore water pressure decreases. How it is going to decrease? What is drainage? Drainage means the particular way to flow the water. So you can see over here, let us think that this outlet is a drainage. So when we partially open this, slowly water will try to transfer the load to the spring. So same thing is there. When the drainage of water is permitted, excess pore water decreases as the water drains out. So water is going out. That's why the excess pore water pressure is decreasing, and the compression of the soil mass takes place with decrease in void ratio. Therefore, we can say that rate of compression depending upon permeability and boundary drainage condition. So, rate of compression means as the water in the pores due to additional excess pore water pressure, uh, when the water will try to escape, at that time the whatever the compression force is there, that is going to act on the soil, and due to which compression of the soil is going to take place, compression of the soil is going to take place. And that compression of the soil will be obviously depending upon the boundary drainage condition. If we are not going to provide the drainage, there is no pore water which is going to escape, and there is no compression which is going to happen because water is incompressible. So we need to provide the proper drainage conditions or boundary drainage conditions for compressibility of the soil, and it also depending upon the permeability. Permeability means flow of water through the soil. It is a property of the soil which allows the flow of water. So if the soil will not allow the flow of water, the water will not reach the boundary drainages. So that is why the compressibility of a soil is depending upon the permeability and boundary drainage conditions. That is, soil having low permeability, the drainage is slow, and hence delay will be caused in consolidation by slow drainage, which is called as hydrodynamic lag. So this is very important term. You can see whenever the permeability is low in the soil, the drainage of water is slow. As the drainage of water is slow, as the drainage of water is slow, the compressibility of soil will also be slow. As the compressibility is slow, consolidation is very slow. So which is called as hydrodynamic lag. Further, under applied pressure, soil will get compressed uh, if the suitable drainage is provided. So, under the applied load, soil will get compressed if the suitable drainage is provided, and hence it get compressed and reaches on final wide ratio. What is final wide ratio? You can observe here. This is a final thing. So, whatever the load which can be bared by the soil, that will take that much amount of load. Whatever the additional load is there, that additional load will be applied to the water, and that water will try to that additional load will cause the excess pore water pressure, and due to that excess pore water pressure, if the suitable drainage is provided, water is going to escape, and due to escape of water, compressibility of soil is going to take place. If the water is not going to escape, compressibility will not going to occur. If the compressibility is not going to occur, there is no consolidation. Okay, and whatever the final wide ratio which the soil reaches is called as equilibrium wide ratio. Further, to make the soil get consolidated more, we will increase the pressure stage by stage, which is called as consolidation pressure. So this entire theory thing you have to analyze. First you have to understand what is the excess pore water pressure, what is the hydrodynamic lag, and what is the equilibrium wide ratio. So hydrodynamic lag is going to mainly going to occur due to low permeability of a soil. As the permeability of soil is low, the drainage is the consolidation is slow, and that is called as hydrodynamic lag. So after that, what is equilibrium wide ratio? Equilibrium wide ratio is a final wide ratio that soil reaches after the pore water escapes. Okay, so that's all about the Terzaghis spring analogy. Further, you can see Terzaghi has also given the one-dimensional theory to understand the consolidation. So what Terzaghi says, rate of settlement, that is rate of compressibility, and rate of dissipation of excess pore water pressure, both are directly related to each other. That's what they have said in previous thing which we have discussed. So you can see rate of compressibility will be depending upon the rate of water which is escaping. So why this water is going to escape? Water is going to escape due to excess pore water pressure. So what is this excess pore water pressure? The pressure which is applied in excess beyond the capacity of the soil. Okay, so what Terzaghi says that rate of settlement means rate of compressibility will be depending upon the dissipation means escape of excess pore water pressure. Both are directly related to each other. Both are directly related to each other. Okay, so we will move further to understand about the Terzaghi's one-dimensional theory. So you can see over here. So to define the time and rate of uh, prediction of consolidation, there was a theory required, and Terzaghi has defined that theory. So assumptions made in Terzaghi's theory. So this was a question asked in your previous exam question papers. So the first assumption which he has made is soil is homogeneous and isotropic, which is common for all. So the soil is entirely saturated. Vertical compression and flow are in one dimension. So this is very important. So the consolidation and flow are in is in one dimension, he has said. So Darcy's law is valid for various conditions. Coefficient of permeability K will remain constant during the consolidation. So coefficient of permeability will remain constant during the consolidation, he said. So water and soil particles does not undergo any consolidation. So water and soil particles are incompressible, he has said. Only the consolidation occurs due to the rearrangement of soil grains. So consolidation takes place in only one direction. Soil is laterally confined. So these are the assumptions which are made in Terzaghi's one-dimensional consolidation. Next, you can see there is a derivation. So consider a cross section of the soil specimen perpendicular to the flow of water as unit. So that is dx by dy is equal to 1 unit. So this is the soil mass which we have considered, in which the to measure the heads, uh, there is two vertical tubes which are attached. So the flow of water is in vertically downward direction, as well as consolidation is also in vertically downward direction. So dx by dy is a cross sectional area of a soil element under consideration, which is equal to 1. That is unity, that is dx is equal to 1, dy is equal to 1, therefore it is equal to 1. So in vertically downward direction, the dimension is dz. So dx like this, dy is going to come three-dimensional. If you imagine, you will be able to understand this. So dx into dy is equal to 1. Dz is that, let delta dz be reduction in thickness of specimen. So in z direction, delta z is a reduction in thickness of a specimen. As the consolidation is occurring, we are going to consider delta z as a reduction in thickness of the specimen. So if I want to calculate the decrease in volume, that is decreased volume, that is dz. So decreased length in z direction into cross sectional area. So cross sectional area we are going to consider it as a unity. So dz into 1. So decrease in volume is dz. So dz is a thickness. From continuity equation of flow of water, we know that rate of change of discharge is equal to rate of change of volume. So this is what we understand by using continuity equation, which you have studied previously. So rate of change of discharge means q out minus q in, that is change in discharge, is equal to rate of change of volume, that is dou v divided by dou t. With respect to time, the volume is going to change. So we know that v is equal to, that is discharge volume is equal to sorry, this is rate of change of velocity. It is, so remember this rate of change of velocity. So rate of change of velocity is with respect to time. Here I have written it wrongly, should be velocity. So discharge velocity is equal to seepage velocity into 1 plus e. This equation we have already studied previously. So that is going to give us this particular equation. So by using this particular equation, we are going to simplify it, and we are going to move further to get the final equation like this. So basic differential equation for Terzaghi's one-dimensional consolidation, where Cv is equal to coefficient of consolidation. So for coefficient of consolidation, the formula is given here. So this is basic differential equation for Terzaghi's one-dimensional consolidation. Okay, so that's all about the Terzaghi's one-dimensional consolidation equation. So you can go through this equation, and you can further consider this equation for solving the problems also. So after this we are going to study about the uh, after this we are going to study about the normal and over consolidated soil. It is very simple topic, you can able to understand it very easily. So you can see over here what is normally consolidated soil. So it is the soil deposit that has never subjected to vertical effective stresses greater than the present vertical stresses. So whatever the present vertical stresses are there, they are maximum of the vertical stresses which is subjected in past. So they are maximum of past vertical stresses. So that is called as normally consolidated soil. Under consolidated soil means whatever the effective stress is there in the present is not the largest of the consolidation pressure which the soil is subjected to. It is not the largest of consolidation pressure, means in future it is subjected to the more consolidation pressure or effective stresses. Similarly, you can see it is the soil deposit that has subjected to vertical stresses greater than the present vertical stresses over the consolidated soil deposit has less compressible, and hence the structure built on them will undergo less settlement. So whatever the vertical stress is there, that is greater than the previous vertical stress, so that is called as over consolidated soil. It is very simple. Normal consolidated soil means whatever the present vertical stress is there, that is maximum yet, means in past also if we consider if it is maximum, then it is normally consolidated soil. Whatever the effective stress is there, uh, in which soil is undergoing the consolidation is not the maximum of all, not the maximum of all. So that is called as under consolidated soil. So if it is maximum of oil, it is all, it is called as over consolidated soil. So if over consolidated soil is there, there will be less settlement. Next, there is a concept called over consolidation ratio. It is a ratio of greater overburden pressure, that is greater effective stress, to present overburden pressure. So greater overburden pressure divided by present overburden pressure is called as consolidation ratio. It is denoted by OCR, over consolidation ratio, that is equal to PC divided by PO, where PC is greatest effective stress, that is overburden pressure. P naught is equal to present effective overburden pressure or present effective stress. So it can be seen that OCR, that is over consolidation ratio, will be 1 for normally consolidated soil. For normally consolidated soil, over consolidation ratio will be equal to 1. Why? Because whatever the present overburden pressure is there, that present overburden pressure is the maximum overburden pressure. So present overburden pressure is equal to maximum overburden pressure. That is why this and this are going to get cancelled, and it will be equal to 1. Following two things are very important in case of OCR, over consolidation ratio. Soil having higher over consolidation ratio are less compressible. How it is? So if the soil is having greatest effective stress in past, that means in present it is not going to get consolidated much, or it is not going to get compressed much, because in past only it has subjected to the higher load compared to this present load. So that is why this OCR, if the OCR is high, there will be less compressible soil. Similarly, if the OCR is higher, it shows that elastic behavior to some extent. Okay, next, to determine the consolidation in the field, we need to perform the consolidation test. So in today's session, we have studied about the Terzaghi's one-dimensional consolidation, and even we have studied about the normally consolidated soil, under consolidated soil, and over consolidated soil. And after that, we have studied about over consolidation ratio and its uses or its application. So in next session, we are going to study about consolidation test, and we are going to discuss the significance of this consolidation test further. Okay, so we'll stop here in today's session, and we'll continue further in next session.